Hey, what's going on, guys? How is everybody doing? So today is an exciting day for me, at least. So this is the channel's 100th video. That's right, we've done 100 videos, so I just want to thank all you guys. If you're new, if you're old, thank you for the subscribers. You know, you guys have been really what's keeping me going. The fact that you guys are really enjoying the content and the fact that you guys are talking to me down in the comment section below is really what's keeping me going. That's the whole reason I created this channel, was to talk to people who enjoyed the games that I like to play, and this seemed like the easiest way to do that with my background. So I just want to thank you guys out there who have been supporting me. I really do appreciate it. And with that, I do have two updates before we get into the content of this video, which is going to be more like a think piece video. But if you do want to skip the updates, which I don't recommend you do, time codes will of course be down in the description if you want to skip ahead to that. But as I said, I recommend you stick around. So first of all, let's update you guys with a little bit of the bad news, and then we'll go on to the good news. So the bad news. Now, I have put out two separate guides, both a team guide and a character guide for two different characters, for Razor and Chi-Chi, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback on those videos. You guys really seem to appreciate them. You know, I think on this channel, those are easily the highest quality content that I put out. Unfortunately, though, I haven't put out any recently. Now, for those of you guys who don't know the whole process behind how long these videos take, those videos compared to my normal ones take a lot longer. For each of those, we're looking at around like 8 to 10 hours, and that's between, you know, research time, getting gameplay, writing script, recording VO, editing, all that stuff. It does take a long time, including rendering. I forgot about rendering. Rendering can take anywhere from like an hour to an hour and a half, but it does take a lot of time. Now, an important thing to realize is that, you know, this is not a full-time job for me. This isn't even a part-time job for me. This is just a hobby. You know, I do have a full-time job. I have a part-time job for some of the season, for some of the summer, fall season. I also make these videos. I try and put out one a day. I also stream, try and do that 3 times a day. So I think that I just bit off a little bit more than I can chew. Now, does that mean I'm going to stop with the guides? No, absolutely not. I think that those are some of the most fun videos I have that I make, and I think that it's some of the highest quality content on this channel that I make. So because of that, I still want to put out the guides, but unfortunately they may just come out slower than I had originally intended. I originally intended to have about 1 out a week. It doesn't look like I'll be able to do that, at least anytime soon. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. I know that people have been looking for different characters, and I just can't get to them all that quickly with the time that I have allotted. And I don't want to sacrifice quality in terms of speed, right? I don't want to pump out more content if it's sacrificing quality. So that's the reason why they just haven't been coming out, because I unfortunately just don't have the time to do them. So I thought I would let you guys know that. The good news, however, now I've been waiting for the right time to do this, and this feels like the correct time. This is the 100th video. We just crossed over 2,300 subscribers, which is honestly more than I thought I would ever have. I'm surprised. Like it's weird to me that 2,300 of you guys like my content and want to continue watching. So thank you guys out there for subscribing. We also just hit affiliate on Twitch. So we have 3 pretty big milestones, in my opinion. So because of that, I know some of you guys have been asking for it. I am going to put out my official Discord server. That's right. If you want to join, you can go ahead. There's going to be a link down in the description for the Jazz E Discord server. I'm super excited. You know, this is going to be a way that I can even more easily talk to you guys. Really excited for that. You know, I work from home, and there's a lot of times that I don't really have anything to do. So being able to just throw Discord up and chat with you guys during the day will be super fun. We have a whole bunch of channels set up for Genshin Impact related content. I also threw in some other ones. Hopefully you guys dig the other ones. I'm a big pet guy, so I set up like a channel that you guys can share images and videos of your pets and show them off. I love dogs, so if you want to get to my heart, post some doggy pics. I also set up some channels if you guys want to talk movies or other video games, or if you have any like tech questions, either computers or video or whatever, you know. I figured that we could have some of that, because basically other things that interest me besides Genshin, I set up those kinds of channels. So it's also a place, you know, you can go if you have suggestions, if you have video ideas that you want to see from me, anything like that, that's going to be the best place to get to me. As well as if you just want to send me a direct message, that's going to be the easiest place to get to me. So if you want to join the community, Discord link will be down in the description. Thank you all guys for checking that out. Now we get into the content of this video. Now, as I said, this is going to be a little bit more of a think piece, you know, just kind of getting my thoughts out here. Now, I don't want this to sound like I'm complaining. That is the opposite of what I want to do, because that is not at all what I'm doing. What I'd like to, and that's probably a bad way to start this, but basically my thing is that I don't think of things in black and white, okay? And let's give a little bit of context for this, because that's the point of this video, is context. So I don't necessarily like giving definitive answers to questions that I don't have any context to. Now, what I'm referring to is, you know, I see a lot of people asking me like, should I build X hero? Is this hero better than this hero? And a lot of times it's really hard to answer those questions. And basically what I want to do today is, hopefully this is inspiring, is not the right word. Maybe it's empowering to you. Maybe that's the right word to put it. Because I think that a lot of people are putting too much pressure on themselves to build like the best hero out there and get the most out of their DPS, where I think most players, where they're going to fit is to just have the most fun with their game. So a couple little points I want to hit here. So first of all, let's hit why context matters. So for most heroes, let's talk about like best weapon, right? I think for a lot of heroes, there isn't necessarily a best weapon. So let's talk like Chi-Chi first, because Chi-Chi has a whole bunch of different roles, right? She can play DPS, she can play support, she can play elemental support, she can play healer. Now, obviously, she's going to do better in some of those roles than others, but depending on what you want to build, you might want to put a different weapon on her. Now, let's look at someone like Razor, for example, where Razor, he's never going to be healer. He's also never really going to be a support. You're never going to want Razor in a support role. He is a DPS carry. So because he has only one role, it's going to be a lot easier to lock down the best weapon for him. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Wolf's Gravestone, right? I don't think that there's necessarily an argument for Skyward Pride, and I really don't think there's an argument for the new one that just came out. It's the Shield Claymore. You guys will know what it is. So it's Wolf's Gravestone, right? Like 9 times out of 10, if you ask someone what's Razor's best weapon with no limitations, they're going to say Wolf's Gravestone. Now, putting that in context, so my Razor, let's look at his stats. Now, his artifacts are as close to max as they could possibly be right now. It's going to be really hard to change any artifacts on my Razor because his are real good. His Wolf's Gravestone is level 90, refinement 1. You know, talents don't really matter here, but what my point is, when we look at his crit rate and crit damage, my Razor's crit rate is 35%, and his crit damage is 150%. Now, if you know anything about crit rate versus crit damage, if you don't, I'm going to be putting out a video about that in a couple days, so heads up. But that's not completely optimized. I would want more crit rate, because I really like having a lot of that crit damage. So in order to get more crit rate, rather than changing out an artifact, the easiest way to do that would be changing to a different weapon. Now, we've already said, basically, that Wolf's Gravestone is going to be the best weapon for him, but I've actually been wondering if Serpentine's Spine would actually be better for him. So if I maxed it out, I'd be getting a little bit over 30% crit rate, and that would bring him up to about 65%, which leaves a little bit of headroom before we hit the soft cap. And that's actually a lot better optimized than the 3550. So I haven't obviously done the numbers. One of these is going to be better in terms of damage when you're looking at averages, because obviously when we're talking about crits and there's a chance to crit, it's not going to be an exact science, but we can get pretty close. So even when we look at that context, there's not necessarily a best weapon. You couldn't necessarily say that Wolf's Gravestone is the best, because there is an argument between the two. Now, there might be a best, but without taking into consideration the context, we might miss a valid piece of that argument. So that's why context matters. So moving forward, when someone should ask me, or anyone for that matter, it doesn't have to be just me, it could be a different YouTuber, it could be a friend. If you were to ask, should I build X hero? Let's say Zhongli, because that's like the newest 5-star come out. Well, there's a lot of things there that we have to unpack before we can really answer, should you build Zhongli? You know, first you have to determine, like, are you even going to roll for Zhongli, because you're either saving up your Prima Gems or you got to pay out the cash. But, you know, can you afford to level him up? Do you have the materials necessary to level him up? If you do, is he going to be outclassed by the other heroes you have on your team? Let's say you're not someone who's building a wider range of heroes. Let's say you're building only a team of 4. Well, they may already be pretty high level. Maybe they're level 70, 80, 90. And if you use all your material into Zhongli, maybe you can only get them to level 50. Well, is it really going to be worth it to do that up front? But also we have to take into account, what playstyles do you like? Maybe you don't really like his fast playstyle. Maybe you like the slow, hard-hitting playstyle of a Claymore user, Maybe there's a lot of things. We don't even know what his best kit is going to be, right? We don't know if he's going to be a DPS carry. We don't know if he's going to be a sub carry, if he's going to be a support. We don't really know yet. So without knowing that information, it's also hard to figure out where he's going to fit on a team. Now, that leads me into the next thing is like, should you versus optimal. Now, I know that's a weird way to put it, but basically what I'm trying to get to is you might be asking, should I build Zhongli? Should I build Razor? Should I build Keqing? There's going to be an optimal choice. Absolutely. So if we look at like raw DPS numbers, in terms of Electro heroes, Keqing is going to put out more damage than Razor. Diluc is going to put out more damage. Klee is going to put out more damage than Razor. But for me personally, I don't really like Klee's playstyle. I don't have Diluc. So, and I have Keqing, but she's not built. And honestly, I'm not a fan of her playstyle either. So for me, Razor is going to be the DPS for me that is best. So is there an optimal choice? Yes. But should I build Diluc? Well, do I have the heroes to support him? Well, one of his best supports is Chongyun, which I'm currently building. But for example, if he wasn't built, then the question would be, do you have the support units to support him? And that kind of leads me into my next point, which is, you don't really have to worry about who's on your team. Yes, there is always going to be an optimal, but for my purposes, and I think for the most part, most of you guys out there watching who are part of my audience, from what I've seen, you guys aren't really like the number crunchers, right? There is obviously a community out there who is going to try and get that last like half of a damage per second, and is going to try and action cancel and do all these things to get the literal most optimized damage possible. That's not me, okay? I'm not the one who's going to be doing that. Like, I run in with Razor, I hit things with a big sword, and it does big numbers, and I like that. That's how I like to play. I'm not the one who's going to be getting the most optimized damage possible. For me, it's about fun, right? That's what this game should be. If you're not having fun, why are you playing the game? Now, people have fun in different ways. As I said before, there are people literally crunching numbers, doing math for a video game. I hated math in school. I could never imagine doing math for fun, but there are people who enjoy it. There are people who just like to explore the world, and they literally could care less about combat. They just want to go collect mushrooms and apples until the day they die. In that case, it doesn't matter who they have on their team. Now, do I like having an optimal team and making sure my reactions work together, making sure that my characters are working as best they can without wasting any real potential? Sure, because that I do like winning, even though there isn't really any like winning in this game. But the point stands that, I'm not going to choose a hero over another one if it lowers the amount of fun I'm having. So I guess my point is, should I pick this hero or should I pick this hero? Well, the biggest question you need to ask yourself is, are you going to have fun with that hero? Especially if the question is very divided, because so many of these heroes are incredibly different and they don't do the same thing. So like, for example, I got a question the other day, should I build Zhongli or Child as my DPS carry? I have both. That's a really hard question to answer when it's phrased like that. First of all, do you have a preferred playstyle? Because they're going to play very differently. Next up, who do you have built on your roster? Who do you even have? I don't know if you have every character available to you. So I could say, oh, you could run a Ningguang. I don't know if that's good or not. I haven't really looked into it. But for example's sake, I could say that. But that person maybe doesn't have Ningguang. Well, I guess my advice wasn't very good then. I always want to put out the best advice I can to you guys. That's kind of why I'm here. But at the same time, like I said, context matters. And I'm not going to want to sacrifice the answers I give to you just to give you a quick answer. I've kind of been rambling on here. I know this was kind of a long-winded thing, but I hope you guys just understand that to me, what's more important about this game is to have fun. It's not, you don't need to figure out exactly who is the 100% best hero. Just pick who you want to have fun. Use your general knowledge of this game to pick a solid hero and just go with it. Go have fun, go kick some ass, go kill some monsters. That's really the name of this game. Now, I am in no way saying don't continue to ask me questions about who should be on your team, because I do enjoy helping you guys, but just know it is a little bit difficult without context. We enjoy context here. But guys, I know I was rambling. That's where I'm going to put it today. Was there really an answer to anything I put out there? No. That's why I said this was more of a think piece, so that you guys can understand my brain, understand how I work, and maybe you got something out of this. Maybe you didn't. Let me know down there in the comment section if you did or not. But guys, that's all I got for today. Hopefully you did enjoy, and as I said, hopefully you got something out of this. If you did and you want to support the channel, or you want to support anything I do, go ahead and follow me over at twitch.tv/xjazze. We try and stream there 3 times a week. Or if you want, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Click that red subscribe button, like the video if you liked it, and click that notification bell. That way you never miss a video. And the new thing I have to add now is if you want to join the Discord server, Discord link will be down in the description. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.